Welcome to the 2019 Oregon National Guard Year Review. This year, your Oregon National Guard trained to protect Oregonians during emergencies, participated in community events around the state, honored our past, and prepared for deployments in support of our federal mission. Oregon Army National Guard medevac crews traveled north to Canada to train with the Canadian Army's High Readiness Brigade during exercise Maple Resolve. Throughout the exercise, Oregon citizen soldiers conducted search and rescue operations, hoist training, and medical response.
It does make a big difference coming up and actually rescuing a person who has visual signs of distress, who has actual injuries, simulated injuries. And to be able to actually see with eyes, to have that, you focus in, you see your patient, and then you actually do everything in real time versus a lot of notional play.
At home, our medevac crews conduct dozens of search and rescues annually, saving countless Oregon lives. Flying across the Pacific Ocean, the 173rd Fighter Wing trained alongside F-22 pilots in Hawaii during Sentry, Aloha.
It really does take a big team to support those 5 aircraft that we brought with us. We've got about 90 folks from Team Kingsley that we brought from multiple units around the base.
Every different airplane that's here has their own mission, and they execute their mission and we execute our mission. We get together every day and we coordinate it, and then we go out the following day to do it, and it just seems to work flawlessly, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a football team.
This year, nearly 40 citizen soldiers with the 2nd Battalion 162nd Infantry Regiment trained in the ice and snow of British Columbia, alongside Canadian Army Reserve soldiers of the Royal Westminster Regiment 39th Canadian Brigade Group. The training exercise, Westie Avalanche, taught them how to survive and operate in harsh, freezing cold conditions. Oregon Air National Guard security forces from the 142nd Fighter Wing and the 173rd Fighter Wing went to Georgia this year as part of a domestic operations exercise called Patriot South.
As the security forces, when the natural disaster emergency would take place, we would fall in with local law enforcement. So in this case, we're working with Georgia State Police, and we'd work with the county sheriffs and whatever affected areas it would be. And so we would augment and force multiply the law enforcement aspect for establishing security and safety for the folks, and just assisting and aiding those that need help, as well as, try and get supplies and coordinate with aviation and whatever to take care of the people in the affected area.
The training focuses on understanding the coordination, policies, and procedures needed to effectively work in a joint interagency domestic response environment. Closer to home, hundreds of citizen soldiers with the 1st Squadron 82nd Cavalry Regiment completed their annual training in eastern Washington's rough terrain and harsh climate.
We have to be prepared to fulfill our federal obligation across oceans and of the different countries. So it's always tough, but trainings like this get us physically ready for a lot of those long missions where it needs to be, we're on a fire line, digging the line, but it gets us ready. Kind of both ways.
They were tested and evaluated on their combat readiness at the Yakima Training Center. Just to the south in San Francisco, the 102nd Civil Support Team worked alongside their Idaho National Guard counterparts and local civil authorities during BayX-19. The training exercise focused on techniques to investigate unknown chemical hazards in a simulated chemical attack in the Bay Area.
Oregon is fortunate in that our population isn't too big, so we're able to train and work with every agency on an annual basis in the state of Oregon. However, in California, larger events like this are necessary in order to bring together multiple counties and cities and try and get as much training done as possible in that week time frame.
Your Oregon National Guard has been a part of the Oregon community since 1854. This year, we participated in events around the state. From speaking engagements to parades to flyovers and more, we continue to foster relationships with our local partners in the cities that we call home. Honoring those that served before is an important part of our legacy. This year, we honored aviators with the 1042nd and 641st Aviation Regiments who flew the OV-1 Mohawk for the Oregon Army National Guard. For 20 years, Oregon was one of 2 National Guard states entrusted with this flying mission. A Mohawk aircraft, tail number 926, was installed at the Dearborn Flight Facility in Salem as a memorial and in recognition to those aviators. Working with the Oregon Office of Emergency Management, we continue to train our citizen soldiers and airmen how to respond in the event of a Cascadia subduction zone earthquake and educate our fellow Oregonians on what to do.
You can't rely on emergency management on any one discipline. It really takes that whole community approach to solve the problems that we face and to make sure that we're really doing what the communities expect of us, and that's taking care of property, saving lives, and looking out for those communities on the worst day.
From multi-unit airlift exercises over the skies of Klamath Falls, home of the 173rd Fighter Wing, to amphibious vehicles on the beaches of Camp Rylea, south of Astoria, to continued educational efforts of the Office of Emergency Management, we are prepared to be there for our neighbors when disaster strikes. A number of changes happened this year with training and facility construction. Kingsley Field, the sole F-15 training base for the U.S. Air Force, has several ongoing construction projects. From rebuilding the runway to building a new fire station, the base is moving its infrastructure into the future.
We believe that the path to success is always under construction. So the fact that the National Guard is willing to invest as much as they're doing right now in Kingsley Field, I think that speaks volumes for everything that we're doing here.
Camp Umatilla, near Hermiston, got some upgrades this year as well. The 224th Engineer Company, 1249th Engineer Battalion, spent their annual training building a 3-acre assembly area designed to fit a battalion of training soldiers. Oregon Army Guard citizen soldiers saw some changes to their physical fitness testing this year. Instead of the traditional 3-event test, the new test consists of 6 separate events. These events are designed to give a more complete picture of an individual soldier's combat effectiveness. The new test must be completed in 50 minutes and includes deadlifts, power throws, hand release push-ups, sprint, drag, carry for a combined 250 meters, leg tucks, and a 2-mile run. The test is scheduled to be fully implemented by October of 2020. As training year 2019 starts to draw to an end, the 41st Infantry Brigade Combat Team ramped up its training operations and prepared to head out the door for one of the largest deployments in Oregon history. The brigade is tasked with supporting multiple federal missions in various locations around the world. As part of their preparation, units trained around the state for a variety of missions. Thank you for joining me in this look back over training year 2019. We look forward to another great year of supporting all Oregonians, here at home and abroad.